Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Enoch, and today I'll be making a Euro 2021 predictions with Marconi. I'll be doing the predictions simultaneously so that you can compare our predictions, and just please enjoy the video.
Hello guys, it's Marconi here, and today I'll be talking about my predictions for the Euro 2020. Let's begin with Group A. So, for Group A, my group winner would be Italy because Italy has a really strong squad and Italy will definitely benefit as a national team as they're honestly a level above the other groups, like the other teams in this group. Therefore, the group winner for Group A is a pretty straightforward choice, and I'd say Italy would easily win this group. Now, moving on to the second place winner, like the second place runner up in Group A, my prediction will be Switzerland. All right, despite Turkey being a formidable force within Europe, Switzerland generally has a group of decent players, and they had a pretty decent run up to the Euros, like with their last loss being a loss against Spain a few months prior. So I'd suggest that Switzerland would come second place in this group. Now, moving on to third place, my bet will be on Turkey to finish third, as Turkey has a pretty stable attack. Like their defense has been quite dodgy for the past few games, with like a free draw against Latvia, a loss versus Hungary, and conceding a goal against Azerbaijan. I don't really rate their chances compared to Switzerland. And the team that will be knocked out in last place would be Wales. They have an aging Gareth Bale, an inexperienced defense, and generally just championship level quality players. Whilst you've got other teams with like players playing in the top leagues in Europe, then Wales does not seem like a formidable force, and their the turmoil with their manager Ryan Giggs and his court case does not help, as they now need his his assistant to take over things. So I wouldn't rate their chances because of the turmoil within the team.
And here are my predictions for Group A. So Italy, they have been very good recently. They're basically unbeaten in the past 2 years of international football, and they have a really good manager Mancini. They have a very good midfield of Barella. I think Barella is one of my favorite players in Italy, and they have a pretty good all-rounder squad that could attack and defend. So I really like Italy. Even though Italy, they have been like Italy or people underestimate Italy, how good Italy could be, but I think people underestimate how good Turkey could be as well. Turkey, they beat France 4-2 in one of the international games, and they drew the other two games against France last year twice. So I think Turkey, they have shown they're able to beat the best of the best, and Turkey, they have Marconi said that their defense is not that good, but with Soyuncu and Morale as their starting center backs, they could definitely those two are definitely world class center backs for sure. And between Switzerland and Wales, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm going to choose Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland, they have been quite inconsistent recently. They lost to Croatia, Spain, and Belgium, but they drew Germany and Spain recently as well. So the squad is not bad. It's Shaqiri, Rodriguez, Granit Xhaka, but I don't think they have the quality to beat Turkey or Italy. So yeah.
Now, moving on to Group B. This one is yet again a pretty straightforward group winner, with Belgium being my prediction, like being like my predict, like being the prediction for like them to come. I'm predicting them to come first because Belgium, honestly, they're a league above everyone else. They made it into the World Cup semifinals, and honestly, they should win this group stage with ease. They have star players, and I don't see why they won't finish first. So moving on to second place, my bet will be on Denmark. So Ericsson has, like, their star man Ericsson has found his form, and their players are generally in their prime, so they're really strong bets. Whilst on the other hand, Russia will, in my prediction, will finish third in the group, because even though they have star players like Golovin, they lost to Slovakia a few, like, I think in their like recent year like international games. And we don't know how good these players are in the Russian Premier League, because yeah, they're generally like the more ignored bunch, so you don't really know how well they'll do. And last place will be Finland. Finland is a one-man team with Timu Pukki leading the charge. Like, I still don't rate their chances, because Timu Pukki isn't that great of a striker when you put him in competitions like the Premier League, so they should be knocked out.
Marconi's Group B predictions are exactly the same as mine. Belgium first, Denmark second, Russia third, and Finland is going to be out. So Belgium, their team is just way too good. They have Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Lukaku, Tielemans, Dendoncker. I can list all of them, but they just have a really good squad overall, and they definitely have motivation to win, because Belgium, this is their golden generation, and they want to they have motivation to win, uh, like a trophy with them, or else if yeah, because after their golden generation out, like their young players are not really that good, so they want to, like, they have motivation to win with their golden generation, because this is their best chance of winning any trophy. um yeah, and Denmark have been very good recently as well. Yeah, and especially Ericsson, he has been very good. Um, I mean, like, most of the goals he scored against in the uh, Euro qualifiers have been against Gibraltar, but his goal output has been very good. Finland, they also faced France recently, and they beat them 4-2, and they won England 1-0, but it was just like a kind of like a friendly, so it doesn't really matter. But Russia, I'm like, I really like this guy. He's called Artem Dzyuba. I'm just gonna show him to you right now. This guy is actually insane. Okay, this is European Championship qualifications. He played 10 matches and he scored 9 goals, 5 assists. What a freaking beast! And let's look at the World Cup qualifiers. He also scored 3 goals in 3 games with 1 assist. So this guy is definitely, well, one to look for in the Europa League. I mean, in the Euro 2021. And Finland, nothing to say. Marconi is right. Finland is a one-man team from Pukki, so nothing really special about them.
Now moving on to Group C, my bet will be on the Netherlands to win this group with ease. So the Netherlands, even though they had a terrible run after Koeman left and they've lost their star man Virgil van Dijk, their players are generally good enough and their quality is strong enough for them to easily top this group. For my second place runner up in the group, my bet will be on Austria. Austria has star players like Alaba, Sabitzer. They have a decent squad and a pretty good setup. So, like, I'd put them in second, and I generally rate their chances. Now, for my third place team, my bet will be on Ukraine. Like, even though they had a bad run with a 1-1 draw against Kazakhstan and Bahrain, they're stronger than North Macedonia, as North Macedonia has only qualified for the Euros like for the first time, if I'm correct. So they're not a footballing powerhouse, and I don't rate their chances of making it past the group stages. So my prediction will be North Macedonia coming last.
Don't you dare disrespect North Macedonia. They beat 2-1 to Germany. 2-1 to Germany. How dare you? And how they're not a footballing. Yeah, I agree they're not a footballing powerhouse, but you just cannot underestimate North Macedonia. Austria, you put them in second. How dare you? No, they never won a single match in the freaking Euros or in the World Cup. That's how bad they are. I mean, they have a pretty decent team, but their record speaks for itself. So here are my predictions. Holland first, North Macedonia second, Ukraine third, Austria out. Austria, North Macedonia, it's gonna surprise. They're gonna surprise everyone. They're gonna surprise everyone with how they don't have a good team, but they definitely gonna surprise everyone in the Euros. Ukraine, they have an alright squad. So the key player is Ruslan Malenkovic. Yeah, he plays for Atlanta. He's an attacking midfielder for Atlanta, and he's pretty good. And yeah, Ukraine, the squad is not the best, but they have good players. Holland, even though I predict them to be first, Frank de Boer he's a terrible manager. I don't like their team is very good, but Frank de Boer is just a terrible manager. I don't even know why he got accepted to be the Holland manager in the first place. So yeah, that's it for me.
Now, moving on to Group D. My group winner would be England, then Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland last. Why I chose England as the group winner because England has a decent setup and they've got a crop of world-class players like Harry Kane, Jack Grealish, like even though he's sort of like at a like not so good run of form, like their team is balanced with youth and experience, and generally if their players are playing at their best with Southgate giving good tactics, then they should be at their best and they should be qualifying into the round of 16 as group winners. For the group runner-ups, my bet will be on Croatia. Even though Croatia beat England in the World Cup semis, Croatian players like Modric, Perisic, they're out of their prime, they're pretty old, and they're generally past their best since like the amazing World Cup 2018 forms. Like I'd be suggesting that Croatia would come second in the group, and the Czech Republic in my prediction will come third, even like because they have a decent quality setup in all positions, and Scotland doesn't. Scotland only has realistically two excellent players in the name of Tierney and Robertson. Apart from that, I don't see the quality with like players in other positions apart from defense. So they should be the ones knocked out of this group.
For Group D, I'm going to predict England to finish first place. They have a very good team and lots of promising youngsters that I'm very looking forward to see. Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Rashford, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they also have other very experienced players as well in the England national team. But the one concern I have is that Southgate is actually a defensive manager. I bet he's gonna start with two defensive midfielders and just gonna park the bus against the weak teams, which will anger a lot of English fans, but that's the truth. Croatia, they haven't been in very good form recently. Ever since they finished second in the World Cup, their form has been very inconsistent. And also for Czech Republic and Scotland, I think Czech Republic, they're a very random team. They could finish first or fourth. Like I know like they have a pretty average team, but Czech Republic, they're just like a very, I don't know when to predict them. But the one thing I'm basing on my predictions for third places is that Scotland, they won Czech Republic 3 times in a row. Czech Republic has never beaten Scotland in the past 4 years, so that's the only thing that separates these two. I mean, Czech Republic, the squad is definitely better, but as a national team, I don't think they're as good as Scotland, even though they've Suchek and Kufal as like their key players. Scotland's team is definitely weaker, but as a team, I think they're better.
Group E. Now moving on to Group E, my predicted group winners will be Spain because they have a strong setup and generally they're in their prime. They have Laporte joining and they've got a solid setup of young and old, so they should top this group easily because of the extra quality they have. For second place, my bet will be on Poland. even though Sweden has a pretty solid setup, but like they still lack the Lewandowski factor, as Zlatan Ibrahimovic is out because of a foot injury sustained in Milan. So like with Poland with Lewandowski in his best ever form should guarantee them to come second in the group. And my third place group will be Sweden because they have a pretty good setup. Like they still lack the star man factor, as in like Ibrahimovic. And Slovakia, they lack real quality and they shouldn't really make much of an impact. So my predictions will be for them to come last.
For Group E, I'll agree with what Marconi said about Lewandowski. Like, he cannot single-handedly carry Poland into the... Yeah, I don't think... Like, he needs good players around him. And Poland, the players around him are just not good, except for maybe Zelensky and Szczesny. So I think Spain will finish first, second... Sweden will finish second, and Poland will finish third. Spain, I think they're overrated. They lost to Ukraine 1-0 last year. And even though they beat Germany 6-0 recently, I don't think the squad is that good. Like, the squad, they don't have an actual attacker except for Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres is kind of single-handedly carrying Spain like right now, so I'm not that confident about Spain, but I think they should be able to finish first. Sweden, they have a pretty good team, even without Zlatan and Ibrahimovic. They have Isaac and they have Kulusevski, pretty good strikers, and the team are they're alright. And Slovakia, you can't underestimate Slovakia, but I don't think they're good enough to make it.
Now, moving on to Group F, the group of death. In this group, my predicted group winners will be France because they have a world-class attack. They have Benzema back. They have Mbappe. They have Griezmann, even though like he's sort of out of form this season. Like with this solid setup in the front, and with Kante ruling over the midfield and a solid defense, they should be able to top this group because of the quality they have. And my runner-up within the group will be Portugal because apart from Cristiano Ronaldo in their winning 2016 team, they also have other star players like Jota, Bernardo Silva, Joao Felix, and they have generally a really strong setup, and it's even stronger than the team that won the Euros in 2016. So they, in theory, should be coming second, sorry. And Germany, even though they have a solid lineup, but Joachim Low is sort of like losing the plot a little bit, and Germany is definitely past its best. So like I don't expect them to do extra well, but they should top the group. Like they should come third in the group above Hungary, and Hungary will come last because no offense to any Hungarian audiences, but like it's Hungary. You can't expect much when you're putting them in the group of death. For my third place rating, however, my predictions will be for Germany to top to come first, because they actually do indeed have a chance. You Ukraine to come second because of generally the lack of quality, like the lack of competition in the other groups. Sweden to come third, and the Czech Republic to come last.
France, they're gonna finish first place. Their squad is just way too good. Benzema's not on the team, so he's a very decent striker, and he definitely could bring something to the France international team. They also have really quality players like Mbappe, Kante, Griezmann. Kante is a very good player. Like he's such an amazing player, and everyone loves him because he's so humble. and I just really like the French team. Portugal, their team is also very good. Like lots of people backing them to win the Euros this season because they actually have a very underrated squad. They have like Bruno isn't even the best player. They have like Ronaldo, Bruno, Jota, Felix, Bernardo Silva, like who most of them they play very well for the Portugal international team, and they also have a pretty solid defense with Diaz, Cancelo, and also Rui Patricio and goal. So they have a very solid team. The reason why I put Hungary before Germany is that I think Hungary they have been on. You can't underestimate Hungary. Hungary, they are a very good counter-attacking side. They play with a five-at-the-back system, and they play very efficiently with that. Yeah, they're a very good counter-attacking side, so they can definitely surprise everyone. Like France, like the other teams will find it very hard to break them down because Hungary's defense is actually very solid, and Germany's form has been very inconsistent. They lost to North Macedonia 2-1, and yeah, they also lost 6-0 to Spain recently. So I think there could be upset here. Germany could get knocked out. For the third place predictions, this is actually very tough. This is just a flip of a coin, man. Like, how are we supposed to know which third place team finishes in the top four? Like, how am I supposed to know? So based on the groups, I think that. Give me a moment to think. I think that Russia will be. I think it'll be Switzerland. Unfortunately, Switzerland. No. You know what? I'm gonna guess Russia, Switzerland, Scotland, and Ukraine. These are the four teams I'm predicting will go through.
So like last, like as in qualified last, like in like the third place rating. So Russia and Turkey will be knocked out as a result. For the round of 16, my bet will be on Italy to win because they generally have a stronger squad. Denmark to win because Switzerland, despite having a decent setup, is sort of out of their prime, and I don't expect them to do so well against Denmark, who has like a group of really strong players. Belgium versus Germany, I'd say Belgium would win because of Germany's weak run of form. Holland to win because the Netherlands do have a better setup than Sweden. Croatia versus Poland, I'd expect Croatia to win because of the general like stronger quality players within the Croatian setup. France to win their match against Ukraine because of the better squad they have. Spain to win against the Czech Republic, and England to win against Portugal because England is generally stronger as a whole against Portugal, and they should be able to defend Portuguese players because many of them have played in the Premier League. And for the quarterfinals, I would believe that France will win it because Croatia is unable to take the revenge because of the aging squad. Italy to win this one because Belgium, despite having a really solid setup, might lose De Bruyne. So if we take into account Belgium losing De Bruyne, then Italy should be able to win this one. The Netherlands would win their game against Denmark, and I'd expect England to win against Spain. For the semifinals, France should be able to easily sail past this group stage, like the semifinals, sorry. And for England to win against Holland because England generally do have a better group of players, and France to win the final. So yeah, my prediction will be for France to win the World Cup final. So this is it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll pass it on back to Enoch.
Next up, my round 16 picks. Italy versus North Macedonia. Italy, they're just way too good. I don't think North Macedonia they could actually have like the. I don't think North Macedonia will find it very hard to break down Italy's defense, and I think Italy they have just a better squad and like a very good manager. They also play very well as a team, so I think Italy will make it past North Macedonia. Turkey versus Denmark. This is a tough one. Actually, Denmark and Turkey, they're both very good. Like Denmark's form has been, both of their forms has been pretty good, but Turkey has been pretty inconsistent. But Turkey, they seem to be able to turn up against the bigger teams. So I think Turkey will win this game. Belgium versus Switzerland, Belgium will win easy. Holland versus Scotland. There's a part of me that want to give it to Scotland, but Holland, they, even though they have been pretty inconsistent and not that good under the ball, but they just have a better team and they look like a better unit. Croatia versus Sweden. This is actually a pretty tough one because Croatia, they haven't been that good after the World Cup. Sweden, they have been pretty decent with Isaac, Quaison, Kulusevski, and yeah, their team's actually not that bad. But I think, I'm not sure. There's a part of me that want to give to Sweden. You know what? I'll give it to Sweden. I don't think Croatia would be able to beat Sweden. Croatia, the team is not as good as the World Cup team in 2018, so I think Sweden could definitely win. France versus Russia. This will be a very good game to watch. Both of them are very attacking teams. Russia playing with three at the back, and France, they just have amazing attacking quality. But unfortunately, France, the team is just way too good. They can't possibly lose to Russia. Spain versus Ukraine. Ukraine are also very underrated. Like I want to give them some yeah, give them some hope, but I don't think Ukraine uh like that guy from Atlanta, I don't think he can carry them. And also Shizenko, like I don't think they're good enough. Even though Spain could manage slip up, like I'm not surprised if Ukraine wins, but I think Spain will win. England versus Portugal. This is actually a very tough one. Both have very good squads. If you're not an England fan, you say Portugal because Portugal, they, I think, even though the players are not as good, but Gab Southgate and also like, yeah, most people say Portugal's team is a bit better as well, and also their form has been better than England. Their attack has been, especially Jota. Jota has really been, Jota and Bernardo Silva have really been impressive for Portugal. Maybe Ronaldo as well. So unfortunately, England fans, I have to give this to Portugal. Sweden versus France. This is actually very sad for Sweden. France, they're just way too good. I have to give it to France. But Sweden, I think it's pretty generous to give Sweden a quarterfinal finish. Belgium versus Italy. This is actually insanely hard to predict. Belgium, they have one of the best squads in the world. Even though Kevin De Bruyne might not, no, Kevin De Bruyne could be fit. They have a really good squad. Even though they have aging defense, but they have a new center back. He's called Danayo. I think he's pretty decent. He plays with Leon. Italy, they're just really good. They basically, I don't think they ever, yeah, they haven't lost a game for like 2 years, and the squad is just really amazing. I'm not sure. I'll come back to this later. Holland versus Turkey. I can definitely see Turkey pulling upset here. If Frank de Boer plays in the four at the back system, I think this would be a very interesting game because Turkey, they could definitely beat the biggest teams here. I'm not sure about this. I think that, yeah, I'm just gonna give it to Turkey. Another upset. Spain versus Portugal. Spain has a pretty decent team with Fernando Torres, but I can't see them beating Portugal for some reason. Like I know Spain has a very good squad. Portugal squad, I think Portugal, they work better as a team, and Spain, they're not that good at attacking wise, except for Ferran Torres. So I think I'll have to give it to Portugal. Coming back to Belgium versus Italy, I think Belgium. Yeah, I think Belgium, they have more motivation to win this match than Italy. I'm not sure. I think I have to go with Belgium. Italy, they have a very good squad. Hopefully, come back for. Hopefully, they'll win their next Euros. This is the semi-finals. France versus Belgium. France, they have an amazing team. I'm not sure. Like, but, however, they haven't been that good recently. They have some weird ass results. Belgium has been way more consistent. They kept more clean sheets than France, and yeah, due to that reason, I have to give it to Belgium. Turkey versus Portugal. I think a semi-final finish is very generous for Turkey. Very generous. I think Portugal will win it. yeah, Turkey surprised, proved me wrong, man. Win the Euros for me. Final Belgium versus Portugal. This is actually this is so tough. Portugal's squad is actually very decent, but Belgium, they have a few of the best players in there. And Hazard actually, Eden Hazard plays so well for Belgium, so I have to. No, I'm not sure though. Let me think about it. Portugal, they have a very decent defense. They play very against the big teams. They are very defensive solid, but I think Belgium, they have enough quality to break them down and win the 2021 Euros, 2020 Euros, and quite surprised, 24%. Yeah, England is quite high. I didn't expect England to be second most predicted to win. And yeah, I guess that's it. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video, and please comment and like the video. And hopefully, if you want to see more of these content, just please like subscribe. Goodbye.